Hi, Steve Hayes here. People have sometimes asked me what my work environment is like when I'm doing all these videos and so forth. You probably have seen this kind of background here, and that's because this is me sitting in my chair looking at my computer. And I'll show you what my daily life is like. This is my home environment, and over my shoulder are some of my masks. I like to collect masks when I move around the world. There's a little sticky note over there saying, "Don't bother me, I'm recording," which I stick on the door that is right there so that my son and my wife, I don't think my doggy Wog can read the note, but she's pretty respectful. She sits outside the door and thankfully hasn't learned to scratch on it, just waits for me to come out, even if it's time to get her lunch. And I've got a 2-monitor setup, big old monitors. You see an umbrella there because it's one that can be turned on to sort of soften the light so that all my wrinkles don't scream. Got a little attachment there for my iPhone I'm using as a camera and my Logitech Brio. Something that's really cool, which is my blue Yeti hanging upside down in a suspended apparatus with a boom and surrounded by a hard case with audio foam. And the reason I did that is I discovered that the directionality of this camera, which is this mic, which is spectacular, it's really great, combined with that surround, makes it possible for me to do what every sound engineer says I can't do, which is not use earphones. I don't like earphones. I much prefer just to have my speakers, and you can see them right there behind there, just, not 1.5 feet away from the microphone, but it doesn't pick up anything. They always say it will, but it never does. So I've not yet had a sound engineer cancel the recordings because of me. Over my shoulders, all my little sticky notes and stuff, and in the back there, my printer and such. If you look at my desk, it's usually covered with sticky notes and little, pieces of paper because I'm constantly making notes when I'm talking to people. Questions I want to ask when I'm doing a podcast, or answers I want to give if I'm doing a podcast if I'm the guest. And so that's my work environment. I'm an old guy, and I've turned 75, and while I do get on the road with quite some regularity, I find if I do a long trip to Europe or something, boy, I'm just dog tired when I get there, even if I have one of those fancy seats where you can lie down. So it kind of seems like I'm doing more and more, especially after COVID, but it's not going back. I was sitting in front of all my devices and talking to people around the world on Zoom or whatever, and recording things. So that's my environment. I find it sometimes a little hard to keep in balance, to be honest, because I get in this environment and it's so attractive. I'll just disappear into it, and then sooner or later something will pop on my screen. My wife sometimes doesn't want to come down and bang on the door, or she just sends me a little note, pops up on my screen saying, "Where are you? And would you come up and help fix dinner, or dinner's ready," or whatever. So it's a pretty sweet setup. And if you see something from me, in all likelihood, this is where it was created.